is my May 2013 wrap-up video, and this is the video of all the books that I read in May, and I read in total about 8 books, 8.5 books basically, because I'm still reading one, so the last one doesn't really count, but it's like 8 books, which I think is really, really good, and I am way on track on my Goodreads challenge. So yeah, I read 7 physical books and 1 ebook, and I'm going to start with the ebook because this is the first one I read. So the first book I read is Lost in Thought by Cara Bertrand, and Cara kindly sent this to me for a review, and I got around to reading it at the beginning of the month, and I absolutely adored it. It was such a fantastic book. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. The characters were amazing and really well developed. The plotline was just fantastic and really unique, and I've really not read a lot like this before. It was really, really good, and yes, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because it was just amazing, and I'm very, very pleased with it. After that, I read Wither by Lauren DeStefano, and I've heard a lot of good things about this book and also some negative things, and I was thinking, oh dear, I was wondering what my opinion would be on it, but I couldn't put it down. I read it in like one day, less than a day, and it was absolutely fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. The entire world was so creative and interesting. I loved the main character. She was so strong and interesting, although I did find that the ending was quite odd, but I loved it still. I still loved it even though I found it a little bit odd. And I'm pretty sure, yes, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars as well. So I've got the list right there on my computer. So yes, I really, really enjoyed this, and I can't wait to pick up the sequel eventually, just because it was an amazing book, and they have gorgeous covers, they really do. So after that, I then read Isabell Rockwell's War by Parry, and Hannah really kindly sent this to me for review, and it is a historical fiction, and if you know, I am not keen on historical fictions at all, but this book completely changed my perspective of pretty much everything. I've never really read anything back in time, so I was a little bit cautious about this, and I wasn't sure what I was going to think of it, but I am buying historical fiction books from now on, just because this has completely changed my entire opinion on the entire thing. There are a few little things that bugged me, but overall I gave this a 4 out of 5 star rating, and I really, really, really loved it. So I'm really, really grateful that Hannah sent me this book for review, and it is even personalised to me, which made it even more special, and I love this. It was amazing. And then I read Vesper by Jeff Sampson, and I really loved this book. I have heard mixed reviews about it, mainly because people weren't sure about the aspects throughout the book, but I thought it was really fantastic. I thought it was some sort of paranormal, to do with paranormal thing, and I was completely right, but I was completely wrong in the character kind of sense of what it would be, so it took me by surprise, and it was really, really interestingly done. I loved the main character, Emily. She's just so interesting, and I don't know how to, I just keep saying I loved them. I had a really, really great month in books that I loved, and I can't wait to pick up the sequel, and I'm pretty sure I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, very, very excited about this, and I would recommend it to anyone. After that, I read Fury by Elizabeth Miles. This is also another amazing, amazing book. The only downside is the fact that I hate this cover. It's ugly and disgusting, and I wish I'd not got this cover, but what are you gonna do? I'm pretty sure this is the UK hardback cover, and they don't even have UK hardback ones to match it, so yeah, that just sucks. But this entire storyline, I went into this pretty much blind because I didn't want to look too much into what was happening in the book, because I don't want to find that I ruined it, but I was just completely shocked by everything, and the characters were lovely, and it was in the perspective of 2 characters, Emily, called M, and a guy called Chase, and it's just so interesting and really creepy and intense and dark, and I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I keep saying I really, really enjoyed things, but I did, and this was another 5 out of 5 star book, and I can't wait to pick up the sequel to this too. so many books that I need to pick up the sequels to. The next book I read is Dead to You by Lisa McMann, and this is a proof copy or a ARC, and this was sent to me by Scholastic Books, and it was released in May. The book was already released under a different publisher, but obviously they decided to re-release it and everything like that. And I wasn't expecting a lot when I went into reading this book. I was expecting something very simple and not as in-depth as it was, and the entire storyline goes and plays with some very emotional and kind of tricky situations, but I think Lisa McMann did an amazing job of working through these issues and just creating a perfect storyline and plot. Just everything was really, really good. I did have an issue with the ending. I wish it didn't end the way it did, but I also loved the way it ended. I'm pretty sure it's a standalone novel, which is annoying, but it's also great. I have such mixed opinions about this, and I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. So yes. After that, I read Nightcore by C.J. Daughtry. I think that's how you say it. And this is the first book in the Nightcore series, and it's only being released very soon in America, but it's being released in the UK obviously much sooner, because it's been out for a few years, I think, because the third one's being released in the UK soon. This is part of a trilogy, and I love boarding school books. They're just really interesting, intriguing, and I love the perspective of them and how different authors can capture them differently. I went into this expecting paranormal aspects, but I was completely surprised about the angle that it went for. I was a little bit disappointed about the whole reveal of Night School, but overall I thought it was a really, really good book, and I kind of whizzed through it, even though it's like nearly 500 pages. But it was a really, really good book, and I really enjoyed reading it, and I gave this a 4 out of 5 star rating. The last book I read in May was also another review copy, and it was Pretty Girl 13 by Liz Coley. First of all, I want to say, gorgeous cover, absolutely stunning, much prettier than the US cover, I have to say. It's just stunning, and it has these kind of like, they look like henna tattoos around the back, and it's gorgeous, and oh my god, the amount of love I have for this book is absolutely over the friggin' moon. It's just like amazing. I wasn't expecting a whole lot. I was expecting maybe a 4 out of 5 star rating, but I gave this a 5 out of star rating, and if I could give it more, I really would. It was just so fantastic, and I raved about it so much to my mum that she actually went out and bought herself a Kindle copy of it, and she loved it too. So go read this book, seriously. The character in this, the main character, was so well developed, and I loved the way it handled the different personalities of the girl and her different alters, what they're called. Oh, everything is just amazing. And a quick little note, I am giving away my spare extra copy of this book, Pretty Girl 13 by Liz Coley, on my blog, and I will link it below. So it's international, so if any of you want to enter and win a copy of this, just go to my blog and enter if you like. So yes. I also started, a day or so ago, I started Partials by Dan Wells, and I hope to finish this by the end of May. Unfortunately, it was such a big book, that I'm only just, I'm like 3/4 of the way done. But I will still say it's a really fantastic book. I'm really, really loving it. It's just amazing, and you'll see some more of my thoughts on it when it comes to the time of the June wrap-up. Anyway, those are the books that I read in May 2013. I am very, very pleased with all the books that I read, and I think I read a really good amount of books. Leave me a comment about what books you read last month, and I'll be sure to check it out. Happy reading. Bye!